The Canucks make a shocking decision in filling out the rest of this staff under the new Adam Foote tenure, with a collection of hirings for us to dive into as the future of this team pushes on with a trio of fresh new faces. We're going to break down all that in this episode of Canucks Digest, but first, if you want to stay up to date on all things Canucks and join the nearly 7,400 subscribers that we currently have on the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss an episode when it drops. And with that, let's hop straight into it, which is the truth revealed on new hires. So if you saw earlier today or even saw yesterday that the Canucks did hire Kevin Dean as an assistant head coach, with bringing on Brett McLean and Scott Young as well earlier today in a press conference where Adam Foote and Patrik Allvin were addressing the matters. So as far as what Patrik Allvin had to say on the hiring, he said the coaching search was a very thorough process as we wanted to find the best fit for our hockey club. Once Adam was hired, we set out on selecting a team of assistant coaches who are good teachers, good communicators, and good people. Foote has done a great job in assembling a well-rounded staff with a strong mix of experience and position-specific expertise. I am excited to watch this group come together and am ready to support them in every way I can to help them prepare for the upcoming season. And as far as what head coach Adam Foote had to say on the matters, he said putting this staff together was an enjoyable process and a rewarding experience. I talked to a lot of great hockey people and formed many important relationships. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to help me through this exercise. The group we have brought together is a great mix of hockey people and ones that he's familiar with, saying that Kevin has an impressive resume, an intelligent hockey mind, and has helped develop a lot of good defensemen. Brett and I met years ago, and I've stayed in touch, and I respect his hockey IQ. I have a long history with Scott. We share a very strong bond, and he has been in the organization for a few years and knows exactly how things work and what we need to do to be successful. Now, with these bringings of new hirings, there was a few coaches that will not be returning, unfortunately, as they announced that head assistant coach Yogi Sveikovsky and defensive development coach Sergei Gonchar and video coach Dylan Crawford will not be returning to the team for the 2025-2026 season. The Canucks would like to thank Yogi, Sergei, and Dylan for all that they have done for the organization and wish them the best moving forward. Besides the additions of Dean, McLean, and Young, head coach Adam Foote is pleased to have Marco Terenius, Daniel and Henrik Sedin, and Jason Krog return to the Canucks next season to resume their current roles. So as it currently stands right now, this is what the coaching staff is looking like under the Adam Foote tenure, where you have Adam Foote, of course, as the head coach, Kevin Dean as the assistant coach, Brett McLean as also the assistant coach with Scott Young, Marco Terenius as still the goaltending coach, and Ian Beckenstein, Jason Krog, and as well as the Sedin twins. So a few things stayed the same and a few things changed, but as far as melding the old with the new, Adam Foote says that he's looking forward to it. He says, not only do I look forward to working with those guys, but I'm also excited to continue my coaching partnership with Marco, Jason, and the Sedins, who will still be very involved in the coaching and teaching process. So it's a great way to show that they're not exactly trying to push out the old guard with the new. They're trying to just make sure they can have this all meld into a perfect marriage with the meetings of the two tenures of Canucks coaches just all forming together for this new tenure for the future, heading into at least the 2025-2026 season. I know with Yogi Sveikovsky, he was only a one-season wonder with Vancouver, and then they moved on, but now we have the new set of coaches. And if you guys aren't familiar with who these coaches are, we'll hop into Kevin Dean first of all. If you saw Mark's video yesterday, you know a little bit about him, but if you missed that, we'll reiterate some of the information here. The Madison, Wisconsin native has spent 19 seasons coaching professional hockey, beginning with the New Jersey Devils organization as assistant coach with the Lowell Devils in the AHL from 06 to 2010, before spending the 10-11 season as the head coach of the Trenton Devils in the ECHL. He then moved on to the Bruins organization, first as assistant coach with the Providence Bruins in the AHL from 2011 till 17, and then as assistant coach with Boston, the big club, from 2017 until 2022. Dean also played in 331 NHL games across 7 seasons, recording 55 points, 138 penalty minutes, and a plus 15 plus-minus rating, split between the New Jersey Devils, the Atlanta Thrashers, Dallas Stars, and Chicago Blackhawks. He won both the Stanley Cup and Calder Cup with the New Jersey and Albany River Rats, respectively, in 94-95. So this guy brings a boatload of experience. If you want to see our full thoughts on that, you can check out Mark's video yesterday. He hit the nail pretty well on the head as far as him. It's going to be interesting to see how that experience translates to the Vancouver Canucks system and what it'll mean with his future with Adam Foote. And then we move on to Brett McLean, who spent the past 2 seasons as head coach of the Minnesota Wild's affiliate, the Iowa Wild. Prior to his head coaching career, he spent 3 seasons through 2020 and 2023 as assistant coach for the Minnesota Wild. During his tenure with the Wild, he helped the team secure 3 consecutive Stanley Cup playoff berths and a 66.1 regular season winning percentage with 134 wins, 63 losses, 23 overtime losses, which is the 6th best point percentage in the National Hockey League during that span. He returned to Des Moines after previously serving 3 seasons in 2017 to 20 as assistant coach for Iowa, during which time the club recorded a 58 regular season winning percentage in the AHL play. Prior to his coaching career, the Comox, BC native played professionally as a forward for 18 seasons, compiling 1,111 games across 7 different leagues: the NHL, the AHL, the IHL, the ECHL, the SEL, the Swiss A and Austrian League. Originally selected by the Dallas Stars in the 9th round, 242nd overall of the 1997 draft, McLean posted 162 points in 385 career NHL games with the Blackhawks, Avalanche, and Panthers from 2002 to 2009. So again, these are guys that bring a lot of experience. McLean has played basically almost all over the world, or in almost any league that you can imagine playing in as far as other people are concerned. He's played in a lot more leagues than most coaches have played in this league. And so bringing all that experience hopefully brings a breath of fresh air into this Canucks roster, as well as building on that chemistry that he already has with Adam Foote. All these guys have familiarities with him. Do they have a lot of experience winning the big games? Not entirely, but they still have a ton of hockey experience. So they've seen a thing or two. They know a thing or two because they've seen it all happen, and now they can just impose that on this very young Vancouver Canucks roster. And then finishing off with Scott Young, he has spent the past 3 seasons serving as director of player personnel for the Vancouver Canucks, so an in-house hiring or promotion. Prior to his tenure with the organization, spent 5 years as director of player development for the Pittsburgh Penguins, so with Patrik Allvin and Jim Rutherford, where he oversaw efforts to develop prospects in the minor leagues as well as junior and college hockey. He also served as assistant coach for Team USA at the 2018 Winter Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. Young also brings a winning pedigree to the organization as a 2-time Stanley Cup champion, 91 with Pittsburgh, 96 with Colorado. His professional accolades also extend beyond the NHL, as he represented the United States at nearly every major international tournament, winning silver at the 2002 Olympic Games in Salt Lake City, gold at the 96 World Cup of Hockey, and bronze at the 86 World Junior Championships. He was enshrined into the United States Hockey Hall of Fame in the class of 2017. A 17-year NHL veteran, Young played 1,181 career regular season games with Hartford, Pittsburgh, Quebec, Colorado, Anaheim, St. Louis, and Dallas, totaling 756 points. Young was originally selected by Hartford in the first round, 11th overall in the 86 NHL draft. And of all the hirings that we made, or the promotions in this sense, I would say Scott Young is the one that brings absolutely the most experience out of these hirings and will bring a winning pedigree to a team that, yes, these players, they hate losing. They hate losing more than they love winning. And that's why I really like a lot of the players that we have on this team, because when they lose, it just looks like they got slapped in the face. When they win, they don't get too high about it. They're just chilling. They're saying, okay, great game. Now we got to move on and continue to build on that. But when this team loses, they take it pretty damn hard, and you can see it in the interviews, you can see it in all the press conferences, you can see it in the fallout, and kind of how it can sometimes carry over into back-to-back games, and that's where we start piling up these losses, and the noise kind of gets a little bit loud, because with Vancouver, it's a massive market. So with that massive market comes very loud fans, and a lot of them. So when the Vancouver Canucks are clicking, the fans are really happy. They don't really have much to complain about. They're loud, but they're not overly belligerent or just trying to just make a story happen or just really going after the players. But when this team is losing, our fans can turn pretty quickly. We've seen it with a lot of fan bases. Don't get me wrong. That's what you get with passionate fan bases. I love how passionate this Vancouver Canucks fan base is. However, within that, when this team is losing, it's rough sometimes. And with that, the players know that. So with this, this coaching staff within all these guys. You have Adam Foote, Kevin Dean, Brett McLean, Scott Young. You got the guys coming back like Marco, Ian, Jason Krog, and the Sedins. So all these guys are coming back where we can kind of see the Vancouver Canucks try and shift the mentality here, where we got a lot of winners on this team. We got guys that have seen a lot of things in the NHL, across other leagues, and as far as coaching. So now it's just time to translate that into a tenure with the Canucks that can kind of add to these guys' legacies and try and form a new one with this young team that can benefit from these guys as as assistant coaches and head coach in Adam Foote, where the players already respected Foote a lot, and now they can kind of step that up with some guys that Foote already trusts. So now you have that going with the players where, hey, our coach trusts these guys, we can trust them and form a bond with them now. Makes it a little bit easier than bringing in somebody that you're not sure of or don't have a previously established chemistry with. But what do you guys think about all this and these hirings down below? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, whether it's about one of them, whether it's about all three of them, or whether it's about Adam Foote and his hiring of these guys and what it says about him as a head coach moving forward. Let us know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Canucks Digest. I've been your host, Griffen. Take care.